There's millions of people that are on the internet always talking about real estate and how you too can make millions in investing in real estate. And then they try and sell you a course, right? Here's the bad news. There is not one path that works for everybody. There's just not. If it were that simple, everyone would follow it. It's not true. Whatever you do not pay for $30,000 courses on how to flip a house, okay? I took $6,000, a $6,000 bonus check when I was 22 years old, and by 40, it was worth $2 million in equity. And I'm going to tell you how I did it. And I want you to know you can follow a similar journey, but it'll be customized to you, okay? Let's start from the beginning. So it all started, I'm 22 years old. My best friend, we just met. We're schlepping ads from the Denver Post and the Rocky Mountain News, and we're having the time of our life. We're stomping around the city in our suits and our 9 West pumps. Everyone, if you know, you know. And she starts shopping for a condo. She buys a condo. And I'm like, well, we have the same job. If she's buying a condo, then I should buy a condo. We have the same job. So sure enough, I contact the same real estate agent. I go on my hunt. I find a condo. Fast forward, I'm ready to close. I get my latest commission check. I take it. It's a live check, folks. If you don't know what that is, it's like a piece of paper. I take it. I run across the street. This is downtown to the US Bank building. I turn it into a cashier's check and I go to closing. So I live in my condo. I'm so thankful for this space. And I still, to this day, it's the best financial decision I've ever made. And frankly, it was like $1,400 a month to live. I was 22 years old. I had moved from a $600 a month apartment. I more than doubled it. It sucked. I was house poor. But I always knew, pay your mortgage first. Skip the manis, skip the petties, whatever it is, pay your mortgage first. And that's what I did. So that condo, that purchase, that was $178,000 in the heart of 5 Points in Denver, is what has propelled me into owning the real estate properties I own now, right? So I went from that. I bought a single family home that had a yard because I had a fur baby and I wanted her to be able to pee outside, and my lazy ass wanted to be able to just let her out the back door. And so I bought that. Then I had a human baby and I needed a bigger house and I needed a guest house. So I bought a small house nearby that we were able to short-term rent to other visitors, and then my family could stay there when they came to visit. Bought a bigger home. Kept the other one as a rental. I call it the leapfrog method. You just keep moving, right? And then I'm at my new home. My son at that point was about 2. And we're walking around the block as one does with a 2-year-old. It's like anything to kill time between naps. And we're walking and I see there's a live-work townhouse for sale. And it's a block from my home. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is the perfect space for my business. And all I could think I was 37 years old then, was holy cow, 22-year-old Lindsay, who bought that condo with the $6,000, right? In the suit with the heels running across the street, could have never imagined owning her own business. She had zero plans to get married or have a baby. And she certainly did not think she would be leveraging the equity from her condo she bought when she was 22 to house her business when she was 37. And that is the flexibility you get by investing in real estate. It is not about getting the perfect property. It is about taking the steps to get started, because once you own, then you have options. Until you own, you are just subject to whatever your landlord is telling you, right? So that's my story. $6,000, $6,320 is how much it was, 3.5% down FHA loan. Over $2 million in net worth. None of that's cash, right? Everyone's like, oh, wow. I'm like, yeah, well, it's not cash. It's just net worth. You only get it back if you sell it. But by the time I was 40, and that was pretty cool. I don't come from a family of real estate investors by any means. I'm from a small town in Illinois. Rapid appreciation is not something that happens. It was definitely something I knew was happening in Denver. I saw everyone moving here the same way I was, right? And so I knew that it just would take some time. And as I continued to dig into it a little more, obviously I just kind of blindly bought a place when I was 22, following my best friend Jenny, shout out. But then I got more strategic with it. and I purchased a fourplex, and I started really evaluating what these investments look like and what's the short term. Is this for cash flow or is it for appreciation and all of that? And that's how I ended up with the equity I have. I think it's really important when you talk about real estate investing, though, and talking about home ownership, to acknowledge my own privilege, right? And privilege is not always what gets you where you're going, but it certainly helps. And so there's two major pieces of privilege. None of my ancestors were ever discriminated against based on the color of their skin. So that is a privilege I have to acknowledge and honor in my journey. Additionally, the biggest privilege I have, which I think is really cool because anyone can offer this, my parents talk to me about money. So many people's parents don't do that. So if you are a parent, think about talking about money with your kids. If you're an aunt, if you're an uncle, whatever it is, like, have conversations about money. The reason we've stayed so quiet about money and why it's a faux pas to talk about it is because the less people talking about it, the less people that have access to what I have built, right? What I have built, I have done with my own seeking of knowledge, right? I acknowledge privilege, right? So I had a great starting point. But then I just went and I found it, and it went step by step by step. You can do this too. I just want you to know it starts with one property. It always does. And you can build it from there. And it's all about what your goals are.